What's crackalackin, folks? Welcome back to Factorio. Welcome to the Pyanodons mod suite, and we are here in the mall. It's buzzing away, and we achieved a little milestone. All the belts have been put down, so our robots are actually free to do their job. They're actually now only waiting for us to produce all the items. And I noticed in the meantime that our copper is actually running pretty thin down here. We only have really one full belt of ore going in and a trickle into the other ones. So I decided we're going to take a look at copper first. So hey, Gamering Dino, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. And I put rails all around here. Yeah, I was like putting these rails down and doing some maintenance. We had an issue with these here where only every second one had a hydrogen output, which obviously didn't work too well if half of them didn't operate. So I fixed that. Here we're full on anthracene oil here and middle oil. Where's the anthracene oil? This one and this one is using anthracene oil to make gasoline and carbon black. So these just need to run. They're actually short on hydrogen. I wasn't sure if, and these are still blocked. Why are these still blocked? Oh, there's another one that shouldn't be there. We have to remove this one for these to run, and this one for these to run, and this one, and this one. Now they can actually flow. Yeah, there's a few bugs in the system still that I'm trying to iron out. And yeah, put down these rails here to access. This is like the mining corridor here. We have copper ore twice, and we need copper now. So we have stone here and stone here. So this exit here will be primarily for mining aluminium, antimony, copper, nickel, and maybe that copper up here too, but we have access from up here. I set up the borax mines in the station to it, but not done much besides putting down the loading station and, just use the mining planner to actually put them down. We still need trains for syngas and actually adding these other stations to be loaders. I don't know if I do that right now. This is a very small patch, so I don't think it's worth it to have 3 loading bays for trains, but there's also native flora right next to it, which we can put into one of those bays as well, and potentially the molybdenum later as well. So from that on, I was looking at where can we potentially squeeze something in here. And this is a location where down here and up to here, we can kind of bring a factory in. And I looked into YAFC and did a bit of planning on copper. And yeah, it turns out we need 11 in and outputs if we want to not waste the hydrogen. So, and the stone and the gravel, and just burn it because they're useful for other applications, especially the stone, so we don't have to mine it and deal with kerogen. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty wide. So we have access to the, how they called, loaders now. And we do have 100 loaders sitting here ready. The only thing missing is the lubricant. And I moved fish stage 2 forward so we can get access to this recipe. Fish oil and ash gives us 100 lubricant. And we can get ash from up here, where we're just producing ash nonstop to make power and sort it here. So I made a little prioritized line that makes it go out here to a biofactory and brought up the fish oil as well. So we can do lubricant creation here and then export it all the way over here. For copper, I'm planning actually for 2 input belts full of copper, 30 per second. It's still a lot of buildings, even though we have molten copper available now. We still need a lot of buildings for this, like, 18 automated screeners here, 14 automated screeners here, 8 basic or 9 basic oxygen furnaces, 13 electrolyzers. And I looked, the electrolyzer is actually about 10 times as expensive in terms of electricity than using the DDCs that gives us nitrogen and just throw the nitrogen away. But we need like 30 of those or 26 of those. And given space maybe at a premium right now here in this corner, I decided against it and just using the electrolyzers instead. I still have no idea if we can fit it down here. We're gonna try. I put it into the sandbox as kind of like a guideline of how much space we have. But the first thing I want to do actually is get some templates for our rails. And hopefully we can fit them right next to each other. So if we put the 6-car one here and we use warehouses and fast inserters, hopefully we can, and loaders, hopefully we can make it so we can put them as close to each other as possible. These are loading now. It doesn't really matter which direction we do first. We use a warehouse here because they're exactly as long as a wagon. And then with these unloading, these can do, if we power them, let's move that out to the side. Let's put on some music while we're at it. Much better. These can do, I think, 2.31 per second. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, almost a full belt. So we can get maybe 3 full belts out of this. And if we use loaders, if I figure out where they're hiding, here they are. If you use loaders, we can get 3 full belts out of here. And potentially, have this as the setup. Yeah, it's not enough space to do undergrounds. We could do some weaving if we need to. So that would be the footprint of that. So if I take another one of the station stackers and put it next to it, yeah, it doesn't fit. We're already interfering with how much space we have if we put them like as close to each other as we possibly can. And that will, yeah, at this point we're still that far out. And I wonder if we can make it work with this being here. I don't think we can, unless we merge the 2 belts together and only have 2 as an output per side. Which, would also be fine, and, respecting that we save more space and we just merge these 2 together. We still need a balancer in the end to balance the 2 incoming ones. Even this might be too much, yeah. So we have to go here. And like this. And then jump over them and do another splitter. So that would make it fit, I believe. We can now put another one right next to it. Yeah, the electric power pole doesn't matter. Yeah, so remove that so we can actually template that. And then on the other side, we can do the exact same. To do it as far as here, mirror it, and it should work on the other side as well. Only issue is that these are actually going the wrong direction because these are loading right now. There we go. You turn around. No, that's not what I wanted. And then you go up and in here. All right, this is our loader. And then we need to connect it with underground pipes. So we have the lubricant flowing through. Actually, we can move this closer to the back here as well, but I don't think it matters where we put them. Just a little bit of inconsistency. But that's fine. We have the space back here. We don't have anything better to do with it anyway. And then add it up to here as well. And we should be good to go. Now we can... I mean, this is just for templating. I don't think we need to test it, really. These are loading. These are loading. I'm going to delete this over here and actually just copy it from here, because these were still unloading as well. So we do this. Now they're loading. And we can fit another one right next to it, right? We cannot... Oh, right, because... Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we fit the rail there, but... Yeah, I turned it on because I like that. That we have an additional challenge for loaders to do. And, you know, it only uses 0.1 lubricant per minute. It's not really a big amount. But this is as compact as I can make it. We still can't put them, like, right next to each other. For that, we would have to do, like, inserters onto a belt or something like that. I think it's good to have a warehouse here, and we can use that with the fixed priority, because that is really annoying. Fixed priority, we can do that as our 6 stacker and remove these. Do we move power through here? So we have like a central way to access power, because that was one thing that always bugged me, that these kind of don't connect to power in a central spot. But yeah, that doesn't really work nicely either. So we just deal with power by other means and have that as our, was this right? 6 right stacker. Train stop names, sure. And we create a new blueprint book. It's called these one pi rails. And put that in here. There we go. I could use them for the trains. I believe I don't want to. It seems too excessive to use the loaders. I do have for ore and stuff like that. We have researched, I think, the bulk loaders. Let's see where they're hiding. We have these bulk loaders that can load much faster, similar to a loader. But I'm going to use these for ores and stuff like that, I think. I just remembered that I even have those. So we can use these for ores and unloaders as well that are bulk unloading. And yeah, I'm going to use those for ores and everything that you could, you know, in theory, just bulk unload and load, like Relesia seeds and stuff like that. All right, we could make templates for that as well. So next up, we're going to do the same for 6 left. We can just copy this over, I believe. That should fit. That's our 6 left. And then we do the same for the 4 lanes as well, or the 4 length one. Let's do 4 right first. And we can copy just this part. And we don't need the underground this time, because we're only gonna go to here and here. And skip all this here. Oh, really? The bulk unloaders broke? I didn't know that. I hope they still work. They were pretty nice, and especially nice looking and thematic, so I really like them. So let's hope they still work. And if they don't work, you know, we'll just load it normally like this here. I think that's fine. Oh yeah, I need to rename them to loader. So that is 4R loading. $6R loading. That is 6L loading. And we need a 4L loading. Just copy this over. And we have a 4L loading blueprint. Very good. Now, let's do unloading. And for unloading, we just need to turn these around. Like so. Yeah, they should be all facing inwards now. And then we turn this around to what we originally had. Outputting Alt-R. Wow, that didn't do much. Now did it? Yeah, with the splitters, it doesn't turn it around, obviously. This looks to be working. And then we just copy this side over and mirror it. H. All right. So this is our unloading blueprint for 6R, I think. So 6R unloading. Yeah, this is R. Let's do 4R loading, unloading. Let's do the two loading together. And then we need 6L unloading, which we can do by just removing this and copying it over. That is 6L unloading. Create blueprint into our PyRails book. There we go. And we do the same for 4. This was R, I think, first. And then we turn these around as well, get the splitter the right direction. And there we go. It should be it for 4R. And then we just copy this over here and have the 4L. 4L unloading. Good. That makes putting down rails much easier. Wait, we didn't put down the 4L loading. Let's blueprint this real quick. 4L loading. And there we go. L is to the right. Yeah, and R is to the left when we look down. A little weird, but that's fine. So liquids we do, we only have to do for 4, I think, but the bulk unloaders we do for 6. I was saying I want to keep one line to align it to, but it's always difficult to do that with these to align them to where the right spot is. I think this is the right spot. Here. Here and then here. Does that work? Yes, yes. Yes, but this one we want to have one further up, I think. Yeah, now they're all in the same spot. We can remove this on the side and just use loaders. And in this case, we could use 4 loaders, but I think I want to keep it as compact as the other one. Oh, they're the same distance. We could keep this setup, couldn't we? Yeah, except the power pole, but no, they're different. We could make it work, but I'm just going to do it from scratch. First, let's see. The pipes still all work. They do. Let's put one on top as well. And for this one, I think we only need to unload on one side, because these should be pretty fast. So yeah, we could do 4 for these. And do a 4x4 balancer. Because that's the same output as the other ones, just on one side. Now let's do a lame balancer. Does that fit in here? Almost. We do it afterwards. That's fine. All right. They need to be powered, but they should be powered by these, right? Yeah, should be powered by these. Good, that is our 6R bulk loader. 6R bulk loader. And we do the same for the L. I should copy all the way up to here. We have the mod blueprint sandboxes caused a non-recoverable error. Well, that happened. It happened when we blueprinted this. The autosave was just right before it, thankfully. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Railloaded to patch script, raised, revive. So we can't copy, we can't blueprint rail loaders. Let's see. Yeah, we can't blueprint rail loaders. Can I put them down from my blueprint library? Let's see. That would be annoying if we couldn't. Yeah, we can't blueprint them. Let's see if we can do that outside of the sandbox. Yeah, we can blueprint them outside of the sandbox, but inside the sandbox, it apparently we cannot blueprint them, which is kind of a bit annoying. But oh well, it's fine. We just do it manually. Is that the same height? Yep. Should be the same height. Yeah. No, it's one higher actually. Oh well. Let's see how the overlaps work. Yeah, this one is one too high. Might be one too low now. Yeah, it's one too low. That's always the downside. Like, placing these is a pain in the back. Yeah, and then this one should go here. All right, we got that. And we just can copy the rest over. And that should work. Can we get this out even? Because that doesn't reach. Does this reach? Barely. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. We don't have to add that to the blueprint. We'll figure out what direction we come from. But this is now the bulk loader L. So we call it 6L bulk unloader. No, loader. Now we need to do the same dance with the unloaders. But I think we hopefully can fit them into the right spot a little bit easier now, because with the open gaps. And no, this one was too high, too low. Now they're all in the right spot, perfect. And we do that as well. I believe one is off, potentially. Yeah, this one is one too close. I think. Let's check. Now how we're looking. That looks like they're perfectly on spot. So let's do the bulk unloaders. This is 6R bulk unloader. Let's do 6R. R unloading, 6R bulk unloading. Let's move this one down. Doesn't really matter, it's just 6L loading and unloading. We're missing the 6L loading. I didn't blueprint that one. Oh well. 6L bulk loading. Let's do the unloading first. 6L bulk unloading. And then if we can do undo. If it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think it works. Undo breaks as well. So we just put the bulk loader here. What's it called? Bulk rail loader. That didn't connect all of them, so we might be off by one. Yeah, I totally see that we're off by one. Bottom, top, bottom, top. Let's try that again. Top, 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 bottom. All right, now we're at the top of each of them. So we call this the 6L bulk loading. Perfect. So those are our dry goods, so to say, and now we figure out what we want to do with the... Actually, I'm just going to work on these. I'm not going to do the bulk loading and unloading for 4 length trains because we should only use it for ores, really. Or I'm going to use it only for ores and really mass products, and it's fine to have those just be the 6 train length. And for everything that's 4, just let's consider them as products and go with a normal approach. Now, liquids. I have to remove the loaders as well. And we add some pumps. I don't know if we still can do 3, by the way. It's gonna plop them down and then we figure out what storage tanks to use. I mean, with the new fluid system, we could just literally do this. And have them work, I believe. Pipe to ground is in the way. So because with the new fluid system, we just add another pump here at the end and put it into any storage, right? We could do this and then let's test it. If they actually unload the way we think they should unload. Where's my magic power? Magic power is here. Let's build a train real quick. Where the rail wagon's here. Yeah, they all connect. So that looks fine to me. So we're gonna remove the wagons again and just use this blueprint. What is the one that comes with this one? Stations, requesters, unloaders. Yeah, they have 3 as well. But I think we might want to do it this way and then use one of the big pie tanks. I mean, is it worth using the 100,000 liter tank in this case? Because when do we ever need that much on site? Because each train, wait, how much can each train deliver? Each train delivers 50,000, so actually we want more than one of these here. Do we put them behind here? Like at the head here? That's a good question. Probably here. Then put the pump over here to unload. I mean, how much do these hold? These hold 25,000 and they fit in nicer. So 4 of these would be one of the big ones. Yeah, it's about the same size, so it doesn't really matter. The only benefit would be that we can... No, not really, it's the same. Like one of them has to go through a pipe. So we could move them here as well. Right, and have, let's say 3 of these as storage. And then the only downside is that we don't have the pumps pumping it into it and pressurizing the line, which will be a downside because if, let's say this one is half filled, the pipes will also only be half filled, and therefore the pressure will be, or the throughput will be lower. Maybe we can do something like this, but then it just pumps in circles, which is also not ideal. I mean, this is loading anyway, so loading should be fine. But when we do unloading, this might be a concern. Let's copy this over. And let's just use this as blueprint. Speaking of blueprint, when we do this, yeah, there's plenty of space. Obviously, we can't do this with this setup. We could try for a single lane of these. And then connect them like this. Does that fit directly next to each other? That would fit. That is something to consider because we can be denser with that. That is 100. That's 200,000. So that's actually fine. I think this might be cleaner. And we don't need this because they're already all connected. And then we have one output here. And can we squeeze this in still? Yeah, that works. So we might go with this. This is the, I mean, this is overall 100,000. which is only 2 train loads, but we can always put one down here that receives the output, right, if we need more. This is just literally for the unloading part itself, and then we can immediately transfer it to a bigger tank should we need it. So I think we go with that. And fish stage 2 has been researched, and back to transport belt capacity, which I just realized is a 2000 research one. So I think we might move that one back. We don't need it that badly. What does pyrite give us? Pyrite into iron oxide and acid gas, and iron oxide and sulfur into pyrite. Nothing we need right now. Coke processing stage 2. That gives us red hot coke into coke, coal dust, and steam. What can we do with that steam? That's really the question. And that gives us also coke oven gas at 500 degrees. Should have researched that earlier. Syngas out of water and coke oven gas. That's actually huge. I think I'm gonna enqueue that next. That is very useful for us. Silver solder stage 2 is very important for us right now, even more important than coal, because solder is next on the list after copper and tin, and lead because we need it for solder. And then I think we go back into the oil processing. Oil sands, let's leave that out for now because oil sands gives us very similar things. It gives us the hot syngas route, which is good for making syngas. And how do we get this one? Dirty syngas. How do we get dirty syngas, by the way? So this is purified syngas into hot syngas into syngas, dirty syngas into purified syngas. And how do we get the dirty syngas? Let's take a look. Syngas, let's just search for dirty. Dirty syngas, we can't get at all yet, but bitumen, steam, and oxygen gives us dirty syngas. Nice, and that is probably coming with the research of where the whole oil product chains. Here, you. It's how to make bitumen. I haven't used it. I can just look it up here. What unlocks that? Oh, unlocked in the very beginning? No, that's coal gas. What is the dirty syngas one? Dirty syngas from bitumen is unlocked by oil sands extraction. So, you know, we could make more syngas from bitumen and some filters, which would be nice too. Right now, we're not really starving on syngas, but we need it for mining and potentially as fuel. So let's queue that up at that point. If I can find it again. What do we need for that? Mining machines. Yeah, let's do that for now. Oil distillation isn't really that important, except we get a lot of coke out of it. But it needs steam, which is... Oh, now, well, actually, cold steam isn't a problem anymore because we can use the nitrogen trick. All right, oil distillation. It is. Good. So we can, let's just copy this over. I think it's like this, right? Yeah. And this will be our 6R unloading. I think 6R fluid unloading. And our 6L fluid unloading. And we need the same for loading. We get a lot of blueprints here. 6L fluid unloading. Now let's make it loading. Whoops. By just turning these around. There we go. And if we want to have a bigger buffer than 100,000, we just add a storage tank on the bottom as before. So this is 6R fluid loading. Put that in the front. The loading, because we have loading in the front as well. And then 6L fluid unloading. We need to, we already turned them. Very good. No, this is, yeah, this is loading. 6L fluid loading. There we go. Now we need to do the same for the 4s, but we can copy what we did here pretty easily. I can just delete all of this and copy the first 4. And that should do the trick, right? We probably want to add more. Let's make them all the same. What is the direction? This direction. So we want to do this. Oh, we lost one of the power poles. And look, we have extra ones. I think this is where it's supposed to be. Oh, are these not on the same? Yeah, they're on the same level. So, well. Let's do that. Connect up the wires. Again. And that should be 4R unloading. No, 4R loading. With the same buffer size. So 4R fluid loading. And then for L fluid loading, we do the same. Just copy this over. For L fluid loading. And then the unloading, we do the same trick as before. Switch, 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 switch. There we go. That's, no, wrong button. That is 4L unloading. Fluid unloading. And then 4R fluid unloading. Perfect. That's a nice, good starting point for our rails. I'm very happy I made that. I'm just going to leave them down here. So, copper, we said, right? The question is, can we fit the copper processing in this area down here? And that is the big question. But before that, let's do something important. Let's actually catch up on, or let's start a lubricant production so we can actually take advantage of all these loaders. Hey, Drago Bro, what I'm currently doing is just making blueprints for our rail network for Cybersyn. Actually, it doesn't really matter that it's Cybersyn or not. None of the combinators are in. I need to put them in after the blueprint stage. And now we're just making lubricant real quick for the loaders that we just incorporated in our blueprints. And then we're gonna do copper processing with the first molten copper and hot air recipe. Because we were running out of copper. We only have a little bit left here. Where's our copper patch? Yeah, it's looking pretty dire. Only one full belt and 1.5 half belts. So that is what we need to work on next. Now I'm gonna find where, here was our fish oil production. Actually, our fish oil line. The fish oil production is somewhere to the side. Actually, yeah, we need to go over there. We already set everything up. Need to set the recipe, connect the pipes properly. And then we get to enjoy some lubricant. Isn't that nice? I see the fish pipeline already. We are close fish oil pipeline. That is. There we go. Our biofactory ready to make lubricant. I hope I have inserters. I do. Very good. How much do you need? 0.5. So we probably should make more than one biofactory. Can I craft another biofactory? I can. So we just plop it down here. Robots. Put down landfill. And yeah, we have to wait a little bit. So one inserter will do the trick. They need power. Power's up here. There we go. Lubricant. What was that lubricant line? Oh, this was fish oil. So yeah, let's move fish oil over a bit. You can connect it from the outside. And I'm out of pipes, really. Let's get some more pipes then. This needs a single one, and then lubricant goes just in here. Craft faster. There we go. Second one. Functioning and spinning up. Fish oil. We can... There's still marsh. No, much longer. Where were we? Here. Almost. Close enough. Now let's make a few more of the normal pipes. We need them. There we go. Almost ready to start. Are you good? You are good, and we are making lubricant. Very good. And I made this a prioritized lane, so the ash comes in here as priority, but obviously if it's full, it just still gets separated into its parts, and the rest gets burned. Good. We have lubricant. It should be arriving over here. It is not. Why not? Okay, we're still missing some parts here. But that's fine. I thought I put the robot network that far out, but I thinketh wrong. So I need to go back and fix it. Good evening, MC. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. I know it's only Wednesday, but I'm ready for the weekend. How about you? I have like meetings in the morning at 7 a.m. Thank God the 6 a.m. meeting got moved. It just got moved, not canceled, so I have to deal with it in next week. But otherwise, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. meetings back to back. But then the weekend is so much closer. How about you? Yeah, more than half done, indeed. Today's workday is over. Can't complain. Now it's time for some Factorio. We are finally getting to Rails and building up our Rails capabilities, which I'm very excited about because it was a slog to get through the very first part where we had so much to do in the base. Like we had to put 90,000 belts down, so our construction robots were all totally overworked. The poor 400 we had. And then now we actually have all of them down, so it's much easier. But do we have lubricant here? No. Why do we not have lubricant here? Well, that is bad now. Where did I miss something? I should have checked earlier. My bad. While we were over there. Wait, where's that arrow? It's like all the way in the beginning. Wow, this one is too long. Oh, well. I know, that's what she said. All right, back we go and fix our lubricant pipeline. You know what? We'll take a little dino friend. And hopefully don't run over everything in our path. I have to be so careful with this one because it will destroy everything in its path. Like, it doesn't care. Which is good for trees and rocks and all that garbage that is in our way. It's not so good if your own pipes and buildings are in the way. Yeah, that stings when you run over one of the expensive buildings. I think nowadays they actually have a little bit more HP. It used to be pipe buildings have like 5 HP or whatever, and if you hit them with the car, you might actually just destroy them, and you're like, oh god, I'm out like all these resources. But I think they got a little bit more HP now. Not the pipes. The pipes still instantly die when I touch them with my little crawdad here. I still love the animation so much. It literally looks like he's jumping from leg to leg. All right, now we need to be a bit careful. We have pipes around us that we don't want to murder. Oh, there's another pipe. Where are you hiding? You're going up. Okay. That was close. But it's good for cutting down the forest, which I appreciate. We have plenty of niobium here, so the mining is going well. Refined syngas is here, drill heads are here. Why are we not using that niobium though? Are we just full? And let me not murder something while I'm looking. Niobium, yeah, we're full. So that's good. That's why it's not mining. That's the best reason why it's not mining, because we got plenty of it. I love that reason. All right, careful, pipes again. Where are those going? I don't even know. Where are you going? That's where they're going, where we have to go. Duh. So here's that one pipe that was resisting us. All right, do we have lubricant? We have lubricant on the train network. Woohoo! Now we can actually build with our new blueprints that we just put together. And copper is next. I mean, I can just sit around here and we actually go into the sandbox and take a look at copper. Let's look at Yaft. That is the plan for right now. It's a lot of buildings. I have no idea if it can squeeze them in the small amount of space that we have there. If not, we just resettle it, put it somewhere else. Right. Let's start with all the stations we need. We need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus lubricant, 11 stations. So that's going to be fun. Let's start with the copper ore coming in, which is 6R, I think we are. No, we're 6L. No, we're 6. Did I mess this up? We should be R. Yeah, we are R. 6R. Bulk unloader. There we go. Found it eventually. So 6R bulk unloader. I forgot. We can't put them down in the sandbox. That is so annoying. We're all the way back here. All right, fine. Let's do that again. Okay, what do we do in the sandbox for this? Do we just put down an empty one and then plan over it with the bulk loader in real? Yeah, we have to do that. And just mark it as, you know, this is bulk unloader copper ore. Please, when you put it down in the real map, put down the real blueprint over it. We didn't lose too much, which is good. I think I have an autosave interval to like 5 minutes. We have lubricant, very good. Let's just save the game just in case I crash it again. So we have a good save point. So we were here and we're just gonna go back to the stations and we have a 6R. All right, and we name this our, where are the iron plates here? This is copper or bulk. Good. So we have this one that we can't really put down properly, but it's fine. Next one up is, let's see from what we need resource-wise. We need creosote, we need hot air. Yeah, let's just go down the line. Coke is next. Coke we will unload with normal ways. 6R unloading. Oh, that doesn't work, obviously, because we don't have them in here. The bulk unloaders are skinny enough that actually this does work. It fits perfectly. If we do this and then go to the bulk unloader but don't put it down, it works. Right? There should be enough space here. Maybe not, because the bulk unloaders need space. Yeah, maybe not. So we have to... Let me get out of here before I destroy anything, accidentally exiting the thing here. So actually we need to, sure, undo this. Back to these, we do 6R unloading, we still offset it like this. This is for Coke. Then we have borax. Let's mark this Coke, borax. Then the next ones are liquids. We need hot air and creosote. So we do 6R fluid unloading. Hot air and a little bit of creosote. At the E there. And those are all our inputs. Now we have outputs as well. We have ash, gravel, and stone. So those are our three. Actually, stone and stuff, we could do bulk loaders. It's just annoying to plan with those. So do we... Actually, we said we only have 6, so the trash network has 4, so no matter what. Hey, did I make these all 6s? Yeah. Let me fix that, because only the copper will be 6. My bad. So coke, borax, so these are 2, 4. R unloading. There we go. And another 4R unloading. Let's give it 1 space in between. And then we have 4R fluid unloading. Fluid unloading. Can we squeeze in here? No. Can we do this? Yeah, the fluids can squeeze in together. All right, now we're back where we were. And next we said we do gravel, stone, and ash, which is for our loading. Does that fit? It does. Let's do gravel, stone, and ash. Let's copy these further down. Wait, these are hot air creosote. Yeah, we put them so close together, this actually was off. Creosote. Why am I always picking the wrong button? What is it? Shift said. Okay. Where was I? Hot air. 4x. Coke. Then this is stone, gravel, ash. And we could do this with shared stations. We could have one side is, for example, stone, one side is gravel. And I'm debating doing this because that would save us a station. We really don't have that much that we need to load. Yeah, it would be slower on loading the trains because it only half of these would work, but we can do that. We can say this side is stone, this side is gravel. And I wonder if we should just do this because we only have so much space available. So let's do that. We just have to be careful with Cybersyn, how we plan that. I did remove the correct amount. Perfect. Good. Gravel, stone, ash. And then we come to fluids again. We have tailings and hydrogen out. So for our fluid loading. And those can squeeze together. So one is hydrogen, one is tailings. Perfect, hydrogen. Good. This is good that this fits, right? How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 10. Yeah, I'm missing one very important one. Anybody catch what I'm missing? I give you a hint. It's a fluid unloading one. Exactly, it is lubricant. We need lubricant to run all of this. To run these and everything. So yeah, this will be lubricant. I knew I was like, something is missing. There we go. Lubricant. Now we can do the piping for the lubricant right away. Most of the other stuff will go down because this is our primary building ground. We can connect these up now as well. Oh, please just straight. There we go. And all the ones up here, same problem, straight, just straight. There you go, perfect. But the lubricant we can run up here. Yeah, we just run this up here. So this is the first time we need it. And then over here. Over here. I know I could just put normal pipes there for that little bit here, but oh well, it kind of looks cleaner this way. Then on we go to here. And I'm very happy I spent the time to make the blueprints. I think they turned out to be very useful. There we go. Everything should have lubricant now, and we can put our fake supply to it and check if all of them stop complaining. And all loaders should be working now. There we go. Good. Power. We need to make sure all of these are connected. We only need to add power to one of them, one side. And then we actually have the power connection already here on the side. Sadly, we still don't have the big electric poles. Maybe they already exist. So that's good. Yeah, you're out of power because I didn't give you the fancy magic power thing. I understand. Do we put that? Yeah, let's put it here to the side where it is obvious. Good. Let's start with our fake supply of copper, because we don't have a train station even to put it in. Copper ore, same here. Give me some loaders, and we just assume we have 2 belts of copper incoming, and that's what we planned here. 2 belts of copper ore incoming, and the first step will be 18 automated screeners to get us 18 copper grade 2. So it doesn't fit on one belt, but we're gonna start building on the other side of the tracks here. Make it a little more symmetrical. There we go. And I think we just start with the screeners here. Far up. Let's see. How many do we fit? That's like 14. We need 9. That was that's too many. We need 9 on each side. So 9 here. Move this over by 1. Oh, that was copy, not remove it. And you will do copper grade 2. Yep. I can copy it when I'm done. 1.66. Do we use the yellow inserters? We're still kind of tight on the simple circuit boards, but I think it's the right decision to just use these going forward now, and then output 2 of these as well, one offset to the inside. And the question is, does this span down here? It does. Just do this, connect them on top to the side here so we have power. And then we just copy this down all the way to the last one. Don't need this much. There's a hole in here. We'll fix that. And then we need to flip it. One flip. And that should be working. Good. This gives us our first copper processing step. Now, there are many to come, but the first one is done. What does that give us? That gives us copper grade 1 and copper grade 2. Well, with the copper grade 1, we need to crush it in jaw crushers to get 6 stone per second and copper grade 2. So we need to fish out the copper grade 1. And in total, that's a full belt, which is nice because then we can just shove it on one belt and be done with it. So let's split out the copper grade 1 and put it into 9 jaw crushers. So here we do a filter for copper grade 1. And please output that to the right. And that should only be 6, so we can merge that together. And the copper grade 2 we deal with in a second. But you go up here into the jaw crushers. We need 9 of you. Where are my jaw crushers? I always lose track of where everything is if something gets added up here, and I'm like, it was here. I could have sworn. Let's actually put them on the inside. It looks nicer. Yeah, because they only output grade 2, right? So we can actually bring it down here for the grade 2, because grade 2 should in totality achieve 15 per second, which means one belt is fine. And then we bring this over as well. And then we have one full output belt of grade 2. Now you get the input of grade 1. And you use 0.66 per second. Actually, a normal inserter is fine. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, Eno. I think it's Dino, I would say. Dino 12. How you doing? Hope you're having a great day. We are working on some copper today. Oh, we have stone as well. Right. We split that stone out here. How much is on this belt then? On this belt, we have 9 per second. Hey, Yuki. Glad to see you. It's an old account you made as a kid. Very nice. Stone goes here across and then up and then into the abyss. And we have 0.9 output. So a yellow inserter should do the trick here. And then we do this, and then we have it insert on the other side. So we have a nice balance. And there we go, 2, a 4, a 6, a 8, a 10, and we don't even need the last one, which is perfect because we wouldn't even have had space for that. You're the original dino here? That's true, you were the first dino. Put crack in a home 2025, take me with you. We're building a little home here, look at that. We're building a comfy industrial home. And let's get some electricity here. Can we put it so both are covered? I don't want to do underground belts. That would be too messy. So let's do it this way. All right, stone goes out here. This is our clean line of grade 2 items. And while we're here, I'm just going to clean up the stone. Where's the stone supposed to go? Here. There we go. The splitter here. And then we kind of squeeze through here on the very topmost lane. Boom. We should plan for a radar in here in the middle. It's so big. Good. Stone is taken care of. It should accumulate here and be shipped out. And this is our trash network. So stone and gravel will continuously be picked up, not just when they're needed. We still need to build our central stone/stone related area that manages all stone, gravel, and sand, and potentially quartz sand or something that is an output of filtering sand, something like that. But what we're gonna do is bring all the stone to this one central place from the trash network, and from that central place redistribute, which means we control from that central place when we mine stone, when we stop accepting trains from the stone mining, because we have enough in storage, so we don't need that, because this produces like 6 stone per second for us, right? And we get gravel, and we get some ash as well that would also be transported off on the trash network. Let's just turn these around while we're at it. There we go. much better. Oh, I see we have a filtering error. Did I miss something? Oh, it's the wrong side. My bad. Well, you do no harm up there. But that's why I like to build in the sandbox, because I see when I make a mistake relatively quickly. Like putting the filter on the wrong side. Let's undo that, and that gets us rid of the fused stone that was in the splitter already. Good. That gets us, we're done with the second stage here. Now for copper grade 3, we have copper grade 2, a full belt of input, and we put it through 19 automated screeners. Again, automated screeners. So many automated screeners, crazy. To get copper grade 3 and copper rejects, which is also a full belt. So it's going to be tight to squeeze that all on a full belt and fill it up properly. We might have to use 2 inserters per because it's so tight. All right, so 19 automated screeners. Let's see if we can squeeze them down here. I think we can. We can just do, how many do fit in a line? Can we fit 19? Oh, perfect. We fit exactly 19 in this line. And because we want to save some space, we're going to move them over all the way to the edge. And then remove these. We're actually going to use the other side and bring them in here. So you will do grade 3 screening. You get grade 2 in. You give us grade 3 and copper rejects. You take 0.8 per second, so 1 yellow inserter is good. And you output 0.8. So we do this, electric pole here and there. And that's all she wrote, I think. We also need a belt on here. Yeah, the stone is what was left over from the wrong filtering. I'm just going to delete this so we don't have that left on the belt. And we copy this here, but on this time we put it on the inside and then copy these 2 down to the bottom. Here we just do this. Don't need all of that. That's literally worked out perfectly. I'm so happy. That was totally planned. Of course I knew that would work out like this. I didn't. But it was like, let's try it out anyway. How many do we fit? I was planning that we need 2 rows, which isn't the problem, but it's funny that it worked out that way. I'm always happy when these happy coincidences happen, so to say. Now on this one we have copper grade 3 and copper rejects that we need to filter. So now the question is, what do we do with the copper rejects? So they also can be filtered into copper grade 3. What we just did is get copper grade 3 or the rejects. So the rejects need to be filtered to also get us copper grade 3. So in total, we're gonna have about 11 copper grade 3 to move forward. So let's go to these 8 impact crushers and we can mark this as done. 8 impact crushers to get the copper rejects into copper grade 3 and gravel. So let's put another splitter here and not mess up the splitting this time. Rejects, copper rejects. See, it was on the wrong side. We don't want that. You go up here. And then we have impact crushers. They're somewhat compact. I like that. And you take copper rejects and give us 50% chance for a copper grade 3 and a guaranteed gravel route. So you take 1 per second as input and you output 1.5 per second. So that's, we need to use 2, but that makes copying easier because we just say 1 on the inside, 1 on the outside. Puts it 1 on the inside, 1 on the outside, and that is the Bob's adjustable inserters mod that lets us do that. I very much enjoy having that installed. Also lets us do like 90-degree inserts and stuff like that. It is just a nice convenience mod when you run out of space or when you don't want to mirror it because it's nicer looking or just more convenient. You build it in one line instead of having to mirror it so you fill the belt equally. It's just, yeah, nice convenience. Doesn't make the game much easier, but I mean, I don't use it to make it the game much easier. It's just when you run out of space and you just want to squeeze something in, the 90-degree inserters are very useful. Okay, how many of these do we need? We need 8 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. 7, one more. Boom. And actually, we turned this lane around. Even though we have the gravel on it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But we put this and say output right. Gravel. Get rid of these and we bring it all the way up. All the way up. Over. Out. I think we said gravel is literally on... why is only one side being used? Oh, yeah, everything stopped. That's why. Makes sense. And we do the same here. Get a little more. Yeah, I mean, here we don't have a choice, so let's do the same thing. On the stone one, we didn't have a choice, so let's copy what we did on the stone. No problem. Gravel. Output to the trash network. Good. We get a bunch of space here if we need it. Yeah, this is going down. And that marks another thing completed in YAFC. So now what we do with some of the gravel, we actually crush it into sand and make sand castings out of it. Yeah, we can do that on that one line that we have left over. What I do? WASD no work. What did I do? This one. There we go. Yeah, I use the Neo keyboard layout, Neo 2, which I love for programming and stuff like that. It's just amazing to have all your parentheses and stuff like that on your home row, but it also has that mode that allows you to lock, like caps lock or another layer. And yeah, that is sometimes interesting when you don't know which layer you just locked. All right, cool. So we need 1 jaw crusher and 1 tar processing unit to make all of our sand castings. So let's get to it. 1 jaw crusher. What I like to do with these is if something goes wrong, there's always the chance that something goes wrong. I like to say priority to the right and fill up this little cache of gravel, right? So we always have gravel on hand to crush into sand. So if something goes wrong, not everything leaves the belt, and then when we restart, we actually didn't make enough gravel to get the sand castings or something like that. So it happened to me on the iron and the aluminum. So right now I'm just gonna do that and keep my little cache. So you input 4 per second, hallelujah. So you're a hungry boy. And you output 3 per second, also very hungry. And then, I mean, we don't need the throughput. We only need 0.38 of a jaw crusher, but you know, we're still gonna do the full throughput. And that goes in a tar processing unit. The big ones. Bigums. With the creosote. So we do this. You make sand castings, and you can eat up to 5 per second, but we only have 3 per second output max anyway, so I'm gonna give you 3 inserters for this. Yeah, well, the gravel currently is stuck, but that's fine. And that one power pole covers everything. Good, creosote. We want to have some creosote down here. And we were saying creosote comes in here. We turn this around. Put the pump down here. Give it some power. And run it through the middle here, which has enough space. Nice, I like it. Bring it over here. Keep it all nice and compact. There we go. Sand castings. And let us infuse the creosote with some magic. Where am I injecting the lubricant? Here. Creosote gets some magic pipes. So we have some magic creosote here in the sandbox. Very good. And that should make sand castings now. Awesome. How do we get them out? On this side, and you make 2 per second, so we need 2 inserters, which is fine. We want to put them on 2 sides anyway. So we do this. We need some power over here. There we go. And these are our sand castings. To be decided where they actually go. So 2 more things done. We make sand. We make sand castings. Now we have copper grade 3. It's all the way up here. How do we even get to low grade copper rejects? Up here. So we move this down. We take all the copper grade 3 and we get copper grade 4 and low grade copper rejects. And we get low grade copper dust, which is different than copper rejects. So we don't need to back loop it. We also get later low-grade copper that we have to smelt separately into copper plates. And do we do that with the... We just do it with an advanced foundry. It costs electricity, but it's only like 4 megawatts, which is nothing compared to the 134 we're going to blow out just to get the BOFs to run. But, oh well. Good. 14, yet again, automated screeners. Like the copper processing loves this automated screening. 15 automated screeners to get the copper grade 3 into more than 1 belt, actually. Hey DSF, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Did you finish Inuyasha? Inuyasha? And what's the name of the series again? That we watched in the morning? Inuyasha? Help me out. Good. All right. 15 automated screener to get 2 belts out. We can separate them by low grade and copper grade 4 right out the gate, which keeps us from having to do 2 different ones. So these are automated screeners. And this is gravel. So we just go 1 over. Inuyasha. Yeah, there you go. You haven't finished it yet? Halfway through the final season? Nice. I'm sorry, Yuki, that I don't watch many anime. But I started to get better at watching anime, so... I grew up with cartoons, not with anime. Like, that should be obvious. Actually, we need a yellow inserter. And output is... we need 1 yellow inserter and 1 mechanical inserter. And let's make the mechanical inserter be close and this one far. These ones go far. These ones go close. And we have 2 output belts. How about that? We can actually make them... We can make them run up or down. It doesn't really matter, I think. We'll just see. We play it by ear, which direction we want to make them go. Now, release the copper grade 3. You were 7? See, that name never meant anything to me. Like, I just had Cartoon Network, and I don't think they had anime on Cartoon Network. So I missed a lot of these. Okay, we need 15 of these. 1, 2. You do inside, and you do inside. So we are okay with the lanes. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Fine. 12, 14, 16. Cut the head off. Boom. Now, sand castings come through here, which is fine. Kind of an inopportune spot, but it's okay. We forgive. Also, technically, Pokemon is an anime. Okay, then I watch Pokemon. They had anime on Saturday nights. Toonami. Yeah, I never heard of Toonami. Like, I know Zero in Gemapel Fendi's Discord does Toonami afternoons and hosts them, so I need to probably go in there and watch a few more anime. I didn't have Cartoon Network. We had a channel called YTV that had anime on Friday nights. Nice. Gasp? Gasp? Okay, we are here now having output of our low-grade copper rejects. So this part is done. Low-grade copper rejects, we need now 6 classifiers to make it copper grade 4 and even lower grade stuff. All right, so 6 classifiers for the low copper grade rejects. Can we fit them in here? We probably can fit them up here easily. Le gasp. So classifiers, oh, they're tiny. I don't want to squeeze them around the corner, so we just put them here. We could put them down here on the side, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we need 6. We can do this, I think. Copper grade 4. Perfect. You need 2 per second. Also a very hungry one. Thank God it's covered. The electricity is covered by the power poles from the other side, which is very nice. So 2 per second here, and you output even lower grade copper dust and copper grade 4. And the total output of this is only 3.5 per second, so it goes on 1 belt. Lock crack in a room to a chair to watch anime all day. I'm getting better. I started watching Death Note, which is interesting. I'm gonna give it that for sure. So that's 0.65. So a mechanical one. I heard of One Piece. I haven't watched it, I gotta say. Right, because you have the hole in there. Do this, that's fine. All right, so these are gone. These come out victorious, so to say. And we have this, and these ones are, no, they're going to the right. Because we have these low-grade copper dust that needs to go down there, and you still don't have power. Now you're working. You would be there a long while. Yeah, I've heard it's a pretty long anime. I also watched a little bit of Attack on Titan, which I heard is a pretty popular one. So, you know, haven't watched Death Note, but heard great things about it. It is, I prefer more like action-y stuff, but as like a, let's call it psycho thriller, it's pretty good. Like, it is a very interesting premise that I've never seen before like that. Okay, so this is done. Now, with this low-grade copper dust, we need 6 washers to make us low-grade copper, and then so we put this on the top. Full Metal Alchemist. I've watched like bits and pieces of Full Metal Alchemist when some of my friends were watching it, but otherwise I haven't watched much of it. All right, 6 washers. Let's go. We put these up here. So actually I would change my mind. I'm going to put this to left. And we go up here with the washer stuff. Because, yeah, we have space up here. We'll use it. This is like the low-grade copper dust place up here now. And we can go here. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, washers, where are you at? Here we go. Well, let's first start with one low-grade copper dust. We need water as well. It's not pass-through. And you take 0.5 per second, so mechanical inserter is A-okay. How many do we need? We need 6. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Oh, they all turned the wrong way still. There we go. Almost. Let's do this. I missed copying the last one. All right, and in order to get this, we're gonna put one of these here. Very simple. Boom, we got water. Now we get tailings as well. Which can be useful for making Nexolite, because right now we need to feed these creatures to mine the Nexolite for us. If we can get it out of tailings for quote-unquote free, but we might need tailings for other things as well. So for now, bring tailings to a central space and decide what to do with them. Tailings down here. We will put the pump again on the other side. Move it to like the middle and come down here. Boom. All right, tailings have a secured way out. You need power. Power would help. I agree. And all of power. Very good. That's another one done. Low-grade copper. So now what this outputs is low-grade copper. I forgot the output. That would help if I actually would put that in for 3 advanced foundries. But not a problem. We got space here. The foundries may fit in here. So let's give it a 0.5. So also mechanical inserter is fine. Make that on the inside and then just copy it up here. All good. There we go. And then we need advanced foundries. A total of 3. And I can squeeze you here. Just perfect. Bring copper plates out the other side. Nice. 0.6 copper plate from low-grade copper. That's what we want. And you have 1 per second as input. We're gonna use the yellow inserters and give them some power. Well, these ones need power too, so not a big deal. Good, and we got our first copper plates. But 0.6 per second, so mechanical inserter, here we go. And we just do a simple balancer like this, because we have an uneven amount of inserters, so it's not as nice to set the inside like that. And yeah, instead of doing these inside outside ones, you can just put an inserter, a splitter like this here, and you have it as well. You know what I forgot to put out here? Yeah, output for our copper plates. Where are we gonna put them? Yeah, that's missing. Duh. Pi for our loading. Actually, that fits, but I want to be able to squeeze my belts through here as well. So we do this. Yeah, sometimes you forget the most important thing, the reason why you were even here. It happens to the best of us. There we go. We do get 35.7 out, so we're gonna split that into 4 belts and load them into one of these each. But we're gonna just bring it up here and deal with it later with the big splitter. But yeah, look at that, how compact this is. And we have even space to spare in here that we could have squeezed stuff in. One issue is that we kind of lost our sand castings in here. Not really lost, you just can't see them. They're still there, they made it the way through. So, hell yeah. Good. Another one in the books. We got some first copper plates. Now, 13 electrolyzers. We kind of can put them anywhere. So let's see where we can squeeze them in. I think we put them up here, because why not? I can find them. Here they are, 13 electrolyzers. You will make oxygen and hydrogen. You need water, right. Do we use this water? We can. Might as well. One less building to build. So we do this. Almost. Switch. There we go. And then we do hydrogen on the outside, oxygen on the inside, because hydrogen will be shipped out immediately as well. Where's hydrogen? Hydrogen is here. Same thing as before, pump down here, move it a little bit in a nicer location, and you're missing your power poles. And this should be the lane it lines up with. There we go, hydrogen's going out. Bye-bye. Good, we have water. No, it's not connected, but we do have it in theory. How many of these do we need? We need 13. This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. And for the water, we bring it in here. Electricity, you're missing some. And then we go up where you're missing some, and all of them are running. And the power cost is not nice. I mean, 9.2 megawatts, there's no way. These use 134 by themselves, but they're not working because they don't have water. Why do you not have water? Oh, because I replaced this one with, yeah, that would help. 139 megawatts. There we go. That's what I was expecting. So hydrogen goes in here. Filling up already. Perfect. And we also give it a little magic valve so it disappears. But honestly, let's let it accumulate so I can see that it's actually making it there. But one more thing done. We got oxygen now. Now, the basic oxygen furnaces, the brutal ones in here. that need 1 coke per second as fuel, and then also 130 oxygen per second. They're very hungry indeed. And then they want to have some borax as well. And they give us ash. Yeah, they're a pain. But all right, 9 basic oxygen furnaces were ordered and we shall deliver. Where are we right now? We are here. Is this correct? This is correct. We have copper grade 4 here. And then we have basic oxygen furnaces here. Let's give it some space. We will make molten copper from copper grade 4. How much copper grade 4 do we have? We have 6.48, so a half belt will do. So we can mix it with the borax, actually. So let's do that. I have a mixed belt here. And we bring in the borax right around here. Borax comes from here. One time. 2 time. Let's go down to the left side and we can merge this into one single belt because it's so little. There we go, and we spawn some borax in here with the help of our chest here. There we go. And that loader that works for free. No filters. Borax. Yeah, that is borax, not raw borax. Exactly what we want. And please let it flow. There we go. Good. Borax is in. Now we need the oxygen. Does that line up if I scoot you over by 1, which I could do? It gets really tight then. I don't want to do that. I can easily do this. Good. We have oxygen. You need 0.75 and 0.75. So we need 2 inserters, some power, and output. Good. So we have borax, we have copper grade 1, we have oxygen. We need fuel and ash. So fuel in here, ash out here. And I think we said 1 per second. So fuel is on the inside, ash is on the outside. Put power here. And then we double it and say, ash, please insert on the inside. And then we copy the 2 of them for 9 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8. Stop that. We kind of need to make a... I mean, I want to route it somewhere around. Like, it's getting annoying. We need it in the next step anyway, so yeah, follow me. That's the name of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 1 more. Cut the head off. Boom. Fuel belt cut. Borax and copper stuff cut. And we should be good. Now we need fuel. Where's the coke coming in? Coke is coming in here. So let's bring this together. We also only need 1 belt of coke because it's 8 point something. Down here, flip it, down here, there we go. And we bring it down on the left side. And over here looks good. And then we put another one of these in the middle here for coke. There we go. Another loader, the freeloaders. Good, coke is incoming. And ash should be outgoing now momentarily. And we say ash is here. No, you're the wrong way. This is the right way. And ash, we also only have one belt, but we're going to split it into 4. And I think we go... Yeah, we said we need a splitter here. Let's go this way. There we go. Boom. That's ash. Ash is also something we could use the bulk loaders for, but yeah, it's fine. And we turn you around so you go up. Boom, ash out. Should be good. Coke is coming in, starting up our buffs. Yeah, they can load fast enough, so they're never stopping. First molten copper at 140 hours and 37 minutes in. What's crazy is that we're already 140 hours. We just did the 100-hour base tour. This is crazy. All right, ash is going out. We don't need this last one. Oh, these are all not set. No, they are set. So they're output the molten copper. And we are indeed at the very last step. We finally need our sand castings, the hot air. Did I bring in hot air? Or did I forget that? No, hot air. Perfect. I wasn't sure. Like, it didn't ring a bell when I said hot air. So I was like, did I forget about hot air? It could have been, like, you know, I know myself. And we squeeze that up here. We can actually squeeze it down here because it's really just, what, 2 casting units? 2 casting units. They also need borax, but we need to actually split the borax off because it's more than 7.5. So we need another line of borax here. So we do this. We do this. And bring borax around. Let's make it straight here. Bring the sand castings. We can actually make them merge too. Because we need 1.36 and 0.45. And we need 2 casting units. So let's get these set up. 1, 2. Yeah, the annoying thing is this output here, I think it only works when you have stacking that it can output enough. We need to do a little bit of finagling around to make that actually work. So copper plate with hot air. We input the borax and the sand casting here, and you need 1 per second together. So we do this. Give you a power pole. Then molten copper. Kind of bit in the way, so let's go out actually to here. So we have molten copper. Now we're just missing the hot air, which we'll bring in momentarily. Actually, this one needs to be disconnected. So we can sneak up here. Perfect. This should be hot air. which we will automatically create through one of our magic pipes here. So we can test hot air. We have hot air and we should now get copper plates. Perfect. So what we need to do is this only outputs 7.5. So we need a few more inserters here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 per second. We can do here just a simple long-handed, and then that solves the problem as well. That's how I use these long-handed ones. It's just, okay, we're one off by one. I could split them apart or just do this. I just do this. And there we go. That should be 15 per second, hopefully, as output. And we built really compact. Look at that. Like, the station is really what's in the way here. We have tons of space to build something else here. The station is really the big part. So we could make this a double-sided station, so we can have left ones and right ones. Put another station here because the 4s should fit. Yeah, the 4s will fit easily, and use that space for another production site. All right. Good, we have plates. Let's, this is actually 30. Out of this one, we get 34 per second. So actually 2 belts are not enough. So we need to split them apart anyway. Oh well. Fine. So let's do another row of these here. Just do long-handed ones because why not? And then one is on the inside. Clean this up. Actually, we can do long-handed ones into this one as well then, right? Yeah, we just copy this. Without this, without this, without this. And there we go. That should, in theory, be enough, I think. You need power up there. So we have 4, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 per second on this belt. So we should be good. Why are you not running? You're missing hot air because this one is now too long. Now you're running as well. We have 3 belts of copper running up here. Copper plates, that is. Which is very nice to have. They're obviously not full, but that's okay. Do I do a 3x3 balancer here? I don't think I have to. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Can they keep up the inserters? 16 or 14? Yeah, they can keep up. Awesome. That's cool. Now all the way over here to the 4th one, and then we do a 4x4 splitter. I guess that's the best thing to do. 4x4 lane balancer sounds like a good thing to me. Downgrade that to yellow. Let's move up here as well. The future factory plants we have in that square. There you go. Boom. There we go. Copper plates and plenty of them in Pyanodons on the rails. Now we just need to actually build it, which is gonna be not easy because it needs a lot of parts and buildings. Also, I don't need this one anymore. But we can stamp it down and tell the robots, hey, robots, please get to work. which is always a good feeling when you can do that. All right. Boom, you need electricity. I shall give you some. You're allowed to have that. This is a loader, perfect. You also need lubricant. Yeah, that would help. I'd stick with the long version. How are we looking? We're looking good. Everything seems to be running. Success, I'd say. Some of these are not running because there's still a backup here. These all, there's still a backup here. I mean, yeah, that's the one thing, because we prefer the right side. So we're gonna balance this way. So both sides get an equal chance to be picked because we merge it like this. So there's one side that gets preferred, obviously. It's the top side. The top side gets in the belt first, and then the bottom side doesn't have any space on the belt. So we do this, so we get the bottom side onto the top side balanced when there's space. Good, perfect. Do we need priority? I think we may need input priority from the left, so this doesn't get stuck. Do we need priority up here? I think we do. We need input priority from the right, because these ones need to go through first, because this one can block otherwise, and then everything stops. Anything else I'm missing? You are blocked by tailings. Are tailings not being output? Tailings, we're actually full. That's fine. Where's our magic pipe? Where was it? Up here somewhere. Here it is. Tailings and this one, and then remove 100%. All right, remove 100%. There we go. No more tailings blocked. Everything should be running nicely. We should be producing a ton of copper now. And look at that, so much space savings. Like, the train stations are really the most massive part of all of this. Now the question is, can I just copy this, and flip it around? That would give us more space down here, but I don't think it would matter. I think making this a double rail is the most promising, and adding stations here and building down here. I think that we could try this out maybe with tin, potentially, but tin also needs like a litany of stuff to come in, right? It probably needs another 12 to deal with that. Good, how about we stamp it down? What do y'all say? Copy. And are we in the fog of war? Of course we are. It's put down. Now let's go up there. I need to craft a bunch of these extenders. So let's go back and actually grab some. We also need some radars, and I need to be able to see where I'm going. Much better. Don't run into the buildings, not in the smelters, please. Those are expensive. Now, where I need power poles. Where are you all going? Oh, for the newly constructed stuff? Wow, we're out of power poles because of copper. That is sad. We're so short on copper that we're out of power poles. Ooh, that's not good. I don't want to have to do like an emergency solution here. We still have one full belt, but these are struggling. Like, these are struggling hard, these two. So yeah, we'll see how much we are gonna struggle with copper. Good that I did that first, because it is tight now. Good, let's pick up our construction stone extenders. They should be somewhere here. Here they are. Radars. I would like to make some radars. Let's pick up some iron. You need copper too? Let's make 3 radars. Should be enough, I hope. Also in our base, we can pick up some iron. Solder stage 2 almost complete, which is great. There's a train out of fuel. Really? How did that happen? Did you... you were on the way to the refueler. Okay, that's the only excuse I let you have. Because we were running them with like the bare minimum fuel, and they only check to go to the refueler after they reach the new station. Like, they don't check in the depot, like, do I have to go to the refueler? So every time they completed their delivery, they check, do I need to refuel? So that's why it's out of fuel, because it probably was checking too late. Now we said we want some iron. Can we make some radars? We can. That's good then. Let's make a train ride. 2 train rides. One is to unstuck that train. Do I have fuel on me? That's the next question. I have a lot of stone and garbage on me. Yeah, we have some fuel. Where did I pick up all that stone? And then next here, we're gonna put some radars down, put the blueprint down again, and then put some construction stone extenders, because only this side is covered right now. And we're gonna go up here with power and add the construction stone extenders to it. Now, where is the train that's stuck? Here. Oh, that's a little tight. That's like really tight parking. But let's fix this. Let's watch our train ride. Come on, let me click on you. That's fine as well. There we go. You see the first remnants of our new copper base, if we have enough copper to actually build it. I really do, we hope. I really hope we do. I really do, we hope. Yeah. That's how you English. Good, here we are with our problem patient. Do I have coke? Yeah, 1 coke won't get you there. So have this. Good luck! Now we go down here and let's just start here. Do we have power here? No, we don't. Let's go up here. So we bring power over here in the bottom and then put a radar down. We can put all that stuff really close to this one, to this line, or in here. So we have the availability of this space for other builds, right? So we may try to squeeze the tin in there. Not sure, but we may, you know, leave the possibility open. Let's put some of these down. Yeah, we don't have enough tin, funnily, and now not enough copper to actually put down, to make the big power poles to put them down. So I have to run around with the small power poles and kind of backfill. Now, how we're looking radar wise, one here would be good. It might be in the way of future building opportunities, but that's fine. We just move it. Was it one too much over? No. All right, another one. Bring the power with us. Let's go. squeak through here. All right, how's radar looking here? We can go way further up. We want to be above here. We do have power on that side, so that's fine. We put it here. And we actually can bring power up from here and then just put down all of these power poles manually. And I have my robots off because they lay down the power poles randomly and I kind of need them in a very specific order. Oh, you don't exist yet? Oh, because, yeah. This is the 6, right? This isn't the main train line. I was confusing that. Good. Do we have radar? We have radar. Now next, we're going to put down our construction zone extenders that will help us build all of that. So one goes here. And we kind of want to squeeze one down here, I think. Can we go further? We can go all the way down here. Ugh, cannot reach. What do you mean? Just put down a ghost if you can't reach. Thank you. Otherwise I forget. There's another one. We probably need one over here somewhere. Like here. Now let's bring the power with us. We already have it here. I don't want to drag it because it will erase blueprints. So I have to place them manually. Now, how's the coverage looking? We missed this corner up here and we missed some down here. Okay. I can work with that. We kind of have one here, huh? That's fine with me. Good, let's put down the power poles here. I have to look closely where they are. It's so hard to see the ghosts where they start. Not that you accidentally place it over an inserter. The rock is in the way. Get out of the way then. All these rocks, go away. And do we have power? You have power, perfect. Okay, we need one more further down to let, and the robots are already coming. They're like, we got stuff to fulfill here. We got work. Let's get to it. I love their enthusiasm. I mean, that's their job, right? But they're really good at their job. They're very happy to fulfill their job. Okay, here. I still need one more further down. That's okay. Well, that was a good build. I am happy with this one. That was fun. Also got really compact, which is a nice benefit. And let's put it all the way down here. And give me the power pole. There we go. Boom, the robots will start building this little map. Look how fast they are. They already put down all these rails. Yeah, when they're not totally busy, could not find a train with enough cargo capacity to make a delivery from tar processing 1 gasoline output to tar mine 1 input gasoline. So we need another train that is... Oh, I need to fuel you too. Nah. That is liquid. 4-length one. You get half of this. And you get the remainder. And so here comes the tricky thing. I have a setting where they always go to the position where they started with. Like, so the first train will always come back to this depot. The second train always to this depot. If I now just send it here to the depot main, they will conflict, right? One will be waiting here and blocking it, while the other one tries to be in the depot. So I have to send it here and then to the depot main. So it takes up this spot. And sadly, I need to remember which ones are filled and which ones are not. There is a setting in Cybersyn where you can tell it. I thought there was a setting. Station. Nope. Is that in here? There was a setting, I thought, where you can tell it, like, don't always go back to the station you came from, just pick any depot. But I haven't found this setting right now. So I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe that was LTN. Who knows? All right, this is put down. So the next step is figuring out what exactly... Oh, by the way, I want to put it down again. Now this time with the fog of war out of the way. So we don't have random holes in it because there were stones around or something like that. But it seemed to have done a good job the first time to begin with. All right, that's looking good. Robots, do your job. We go back to the mall and we will build all the necessary buildings we need. So we need warehouses. I don't think we have warehouses. Warehouses, electrolyzers, and BOFs. Let's start with that. Let's start with the warehouses. Warehouses are here. What do you need as input? We don't have wood chests, so we need to build those. You just need wood. Perfect. Nice. We have stone bricks, steel, and iron plates, so that's a go. Then, BOFs, basic oxygen furnaces. These are probably a pain to build, if I'm not mistaken. And casting units. What do you need? You need... We have these. Gas furnaces. We don't have gas furnaces. Oh, my God. All right, gas furnaces are next. They should be here. Gas furnace. And then let's undo this. Gas furnace, what do you need? Refined concrete. We have down here, right? And remove the logistics stuff. Refined concrete we make here. Yep, and we have plenty of it. I like to see it. How many bots do we have now? 476 construction bots and 158 logistics Pyanodons, which is terrific. Awesome. Now, casting unit. What do you need? Jesus, you need a lab and a local radar. All right, start with the local radar because I think that is easier on the requirements. Engine units we have, small parts, iron plates we have. Good. Lab. Where is a lab even? I build them so rarely. Transport belts we have, small parts we have. Cool. Anything else that's fancy? Intermetallic, steel plate, copper. Copper plates, no. But we only need 2 casting units. And we build up to 20, so that's fine. The only downside, no, we actually have. Yeah, we have very few yellow inserters to actually populate these. Everything probably goes to the fast inserters, and these are missing simple circuit boards, so we're blocked on that. But at least the burn assembly machines are being put down. And here I'm using burn assembly machines instead of the fancy new, how are they called, automated factories. Even though the burn assembly machines do need fuel and they burn fuel, I learned that there are the biodegradable fuels mostly that don't produce ash, which is huge because then I don't have to deal with ash and I can keep it as compact as this is, and they just burn and produce nothing as output, which is just beautiful. Otherwise, I would have gone for the electrics, or the electric ones, because that, you know, would have just been much easier. We're out of pipe. Why are we out of pipe? Okay, you just need more iron. Yeah, it's fine. We just need more logistics bots to really keep up with the production. Good, what else do we need that we're not making? We need impact crushers. Impact crushers and classifiers. So let's do those. Impact crusher. And let's put the classifier down. I think it's here, right? Yeah, classifier. What do you need? Local radars. We have these steam engines. We have these simple circuit boards. Tint cable. We don't have tint cable. Let's make that. Yeah, us having no tin and no copper. Yay, fun. Oh, and you need copper cables. Yeah, right. Copper. Kappa. Kappa. Copper cables, cool. I fell asleep watching Minecraft geology videos, and this is what I wake up to. Well, apparently, Minecraft geology and Factorio Pyanodons are very much related. Welcome, George. Welcome to the factory. This is our current factory in Factorio with the Pyanodons Modpack. We're 141 hours in. And, well, I hope I don't lull you to sleep as well. We just finished our copper build, if that tells you something. And yeah, I hope it was a pleasant surprise to wake up to this. But yeah, welcome in, George. You never played Factorio? Factorio is a great game. If you enjoy, like, if you have played Minecraft's GregTech or something like that, I think Factorio would be absolutely up your alley. If you ever played, I mean, I haven't played Minecraft in so long. Back in the day when I played, there was like Industry 2, I think, was one of the mod packs or the mods, one of the early automation mods for Minecraft. I played that a bunch. So if you like automation and automating things, and then logistics. If you ever played Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe or the original Transport Tycoon Deluxe with logistics of trains and stuff like that, you'd love Factorio as well. So, you know, maybe check it out on Steam and see if you like it. Most I do is create and a bunch of add-ons for it. Oh, cool. That's cool. Now, where were we? We have all of this. We have all of this. I'm just right now looking up what buildings we are not automatically creating with bots yet. So Advanced Foundry and Electrolyzer. Probably some we don't create. I wonder if the electrolyzer is in here, but I don't think it is. Let's put the electrolyzer down here. And then the Advanced Foundry. Electrolyzer, what do you need? A lab, a tar processing unit. We have that. So tar processing unit is the next one. We want to put in here. Where are you hiding? EDC tar processing unit. Are we not making that one yet? No, we must be making that one, right? Really not? All right, have a good night, George. I hope you have great sleep. And I hope Factorio will lull you to sleep as well. Do we really not have a tar processing unit automated? Like, we built like 50 of them here, right? Like, we have a few of them. I guess that I never automated these because I can't see it in here. Maybe I'm blind, but I didn't see one here. In worst case, we built twice as many. That's okay. We should have all of that as well. We have stone furnaces, right? Yeah, here. Good. Any more buildings that we don't have? Jaw crushers. We need more jaw crushers, or automate jaw crushers. Anything else? Jaw crushers, and I hope that's it. There we go. We don't have jaw crushers here, right? All right. Is it worth setting up a constant combinator to output 1 into a circuit network to represent if you have already automated something? You mean for, like, I set up like a circuit and let's see. Let's put down a constant combinator and then just say, you know, building A, you know, equals 1. So I know what I've automated. I could do that. See, I never thought about that. That is actually an intelligent idea. Like, that's pretty good. But then again, before I look through these icons here, I just look through these icons here. I don't know which is easier. You can also scroll out. When it got bigger, I did that and just looked at these icons on the map and figured out if I automated something. I don't know if it's easier to see it in here because you can't really search. Actually, it does say that it's already in there. Filter conflicts were filtered in slot 1. So yeah, that might be a good idea. I'll think about it. Thank you. I can put that here as a little reminder and start with like splitters. And please, maybe I do that off stream. But that's a good idea. And I can't even quote unquote search for it, right? Because if the signal already exists, then it will tell me. That's a good idea. Thank you. But this was the goal of the stream. It was great to build this copper here. I can't wait till it's finished because we're really struggling for the copper right now in the base. The borax, all of these miners are done. We need to deliver the syngas that it needs as mining fluid. So that is also something on the to-do list. Borax, train refuelers are done. We did that in the last stream. Turns out scale copper moved up in the priority list, even above tin and solder, because copper is just much more critical than tin and solder, no matter which way you turn it. But I want to say thank you everybody who was here. This stream got amazing support, so thank you so much. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you get notified when I go live. In the last 2 weeks, I think, streamed every day. So come by tomorrow again for another stream of Factorio. We will see how far the copper build has progressed and if we can kick it off already and maybe start with the tin build. And we also still need to mine, so we need to set up the copper mines, but these two we could just belt over here, right? Just belt it here as input and be done with it, which I think I might consider doing off stream because that's pretty boring. But again, thank you all for being here. This was amazing. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.